Good morning and welcome. It is 8 o'clock. It is the 5th day of April 2021, and I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. Happy day after Easter, half off Easter candy. You'll notice we're back to the old camera because just logistics. I'm sorry. I want to use the new camera, but it just doesn't work the way things are organized now. Where I live, just dot space and thingies, and I don't know, you don't care. Anyways, it is Monday, which means it is time for the gaming news. What's going on in the gaming world this week? So during the weekend, a website called Extra Credit, an attempt to, I guess, garner views or tap into the fading zeitgeist, brought up the whole evil races, good races, orcs are racist thing that has been going on for the past year or so. And obviously, it got lots of responses. It got 16 million downvotes, which I think is impossible, but whatever. Yeah, or maybe it was 16,000. I have to look again. It might have been 16,000 downvotes. It got a lot of downvotes because, people are tired of this argument. Two, other than a small population of people who actually really never even played the game or really know anything about our hobby, are the ones who have said that the orcs are inherently racist. I mean, even the people who are supposedly the target of this racism are claiming, no, it's not racist. Stop using that as your excuse. Asian people have said, no, that's not you're not insulting us. People of color said, like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see this as racist. So whatever, that argument has come and gone, but apparently these guys decided to dredge it up again, and we might comment on that in a separate vlog, but several other vloggers have already commented on it, so I don't know if we will. We may look at it from a different way. You know what? It's me. I'll probably comment on it. Okay. These guys over at EN who are still pushing their version of 5th edition have got another free playtest up for their level 5e for a couple of the classes and a sample adventure. And I really love the fact that these guys are, trying to take fifth edition and tear it apart and put it back together again, much the same way, what Pazio did with D&D to make Pathfinder. But, on the other hand, there's something to be said about making everything of your game free on the internet, because if somebody is willing to do the work, I never have to pay for it. I just download all your stuff, and then all I have to pay for is eventually maybe printing it out. And does anybody really print things out anymore? Okay. So there is a game coming out called Against the Dark Master, which is an OSR style revamping of the Rollmaster rule system. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. WizKids and Wizards of the Coast have announced the new Tiamat thing. I don't know. It's so big. I don't know if you can call it a figure anymore. It stands 14.6 inches tall, and it is 16.8 inches long, and its wingspan is 28.9 inches. So, just to remind you, a foot is 12 inches. So something that's 14 inches tall, that's almost 2 feet. It's bigger than a Coke can, because if you look at the picture, they have it next to a Coke can. This is supposedly one of the biggest miniatures ever made. If you remember, there was that $150 giant ancient red dragon figure that was about this tall. And of course, there's the Apocalypse Dragon from Mage Knight, which was also, pretty big. So 14 inches. Well, I have a ruler here somewhere, or I had a ruler here somewhere. Here we go. All right, so this is 6 inches. So 2 of these would be a foot. And then, so that's 12 inches, and 13, 14. So that's 2 of these and this. And that's 2 inches there. So 2 of these plus 2 inches. And this is a Coke can. Obviously, well, you know what? The Coke can in the picture is obviously not to scale. Actually, this is a Pepsi can, but you get it. Anyways, yeah. It's bigger than my head. So that's pretty freaking huge. I can't wait to see this thing. Okay. This isn't really news, but I guess it's just being we know about the Luke Kane thing happening. Luke Kane, who was the big head honcho over at Kickstarter, has resigned, been asked to leave, whatever. We'll never know what really happened, but, because of the perfect RPG debacle and the fact that he included Adam Coble and didn't tell anybody about that Adam Coble was involved with it, and the way he went about it was very, iffy. And he's kind of said he's defended himself, and he's like, I didn't think people would be that upset about Adam Coble. And he's claimed a lot of the other people who backed out of it were harassed, and some of them have said, no, we weren't harassed. Stop using us as an excuse for your mistake. Basically it comes down to I don't know what his relationship with Adam Coble was, if they're pals, if, Coble slipped him a few ducats to pull off this really bad scam, but whatever, he scammed people, and they're saying, you know what, if he had just told us ahead of time that he was involved, maybe I would have done it, but, probably not, because the guy's scum, but whatever. So he's been resigned from his position. So there's a television series coming out based upon the Scion role-playing game. Scion role-playing game, originally a White Wolf product, now currently under the Onyx Path umbrella. Basically, the idea of Scion is American Gods. If you're not familiar with American Gods, the characters are all basically scions, children of gods, demigods, legendary heroes. It's not really a superhero game. It's more of a modern fantasy quasi-superhero game. I mean, they're basically godlings. So, yeah. I never got to play it. The idea is interesting, and now it looks like they're going to be doing a television series based upon it. American Gods was not renewed for a 3rd season, so obviously the powers that be feel there's not an interest in this type of product right now for TV. So I don't know if they think Scion's gonna succeed where American Gods supposedly failed. We'll see what happens. All right, so Mofidus has finally announced pre-orders for the Fallout, the post-nuclear tabletop role-playing game using the 2D20 system. The Fallout Wasteland Warfare miniature game has been going on for a while, and they even did a Humble Bumble about it earlier this year. So this is finally the role-playing game. Now, there have been several Pip-Boy role-playing games, but none of them have been official. This is the official 2D20 Fallout role-playing game combined with Mofidus and Bethesda. So we'll see how well this is. Wizards of the Coast has suspended Jason Felix following accusations of plagiarism from the work of fan artist Kit Lepan. The card in question was a reprint of Crux of Fate for the Strixhaven expansion, reprinted as part of the Mystical Archive series. I don't know what any of these words means. If you're a Magic player, I guess it means something to you. So anyways, this guy did some fan art, and then another guy did an art, and now the guy who did the fan art is claiming, you plagiarized my work, and he lost he's been suspended. I don't know if he's going to lose his job over this. They have a picture of the original, and they have a picture of the card. I don't see it, but I guess it could be there. Plagiarism is such a hard thing to deal with. Okay, so for April Fool's Day, we had some jokes come across the thing. Many of these are still up. One joke was done by the people who did Thirsty Sword Lesbians. They renamed the game Friendly Sword Pals because people said that, a lesbian role-playing game is controversial, so why don't you just rename it? and call it Friendly Sword Pals, and it has rules for holding hands, sharing shirts, or practicing kisses with your lifelong roommates and sword fighting pals. Of course, this is a parody of the many articles and documentaries that describes figures in obvious LGBTQ relationships as close friends or roommates throughout, TV history. Laverne and Shirley, The Odd Couple, stuff like that. Some of the other ones that went off. Beadle and Grimm announced a Plastum box set for Wing Commander. This is, of course, based on the film that featured Beadle and Grimm founder Matthew Leard. Sandy Peterson of Call of Cthulhu fandom released a YouTube video with the title "Was Lovecraft Racist?", in which he appears in the video and says yes. April Kit Welsh released an image for the updated version of Thrifty Sword Lesbians titled Friendly Sword Pals. Pazio released stats for new April Fool's monsters, including the Nosferatu, which was a vampire otter, and the Desert Drake, a giant ice cream cone dragon. Steve Jackson announced a new fragrance line that included the finest perfume, Illuminati, and Dwarven Forge had a trailer up for their new television series, The Joy of Dwarven Painting. So that was all the April Fool's jokes that were on the web over the weekend. There we go. So looks like they're finally doing some reviews also for the Terminator role-playing game from Nightfall Games. Again, we brought this up previously, how this all works, because Predators, Terminator, and Alien at one time in time were all canonly in the same universe. Now that may have been changed in the current incarnation of the product line, but at one point in time they all existed in the same place. And that is it for the gaming news this week. We will possibly address the whole level up, extra credit, orcs or races bullshit in another video. If there's even an audience for that, I don't know if there is. I mean, they got 16-something thousand downvotes, so obviously there's not. Support me. I will sell out. Till next time, I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming. If you appreciate this content, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. The goal is 400 subs. We would like to hit 500 by August 4th, but 400 is fine. Until next time, have a great week. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and get off my lawn.